Is it impossible to remove gender politics from video games? And honestly, yes. Yes, it is. Because in our entire history as a civilization, once something has been introduced, it may fade to the side a bit, but it never truly goes away. Like, I don't believe that gender politics needs to be a thing in video games, purely because I don't believe that it is profitable, not to a large degree. But companies and corporations, for some reason, just love to lose money. And the only reason I can think of is because when you are rich, and I'm talking like super duper rich, you don't live in reality anymore. You just surround yourself with yes men and you live in your big giant bubble off in San Francisco. And you think that San Francisco or California is the entire world, not realizing that there's a whole other nation that gives no fucks about what the world has planned outside of their own interest. Like, this whole Ubisoft thing with the very masculine looking 2B has my mind boggled because, yes, 2B is a popular character, and for some reason, they can't figure out why 2B is a popular character. They cannot figure out why a character who has a special move that blows all her clothing off is popular. And yet and still, their company is failing, which makes no sense. Because Ubisoft makes okay, I want to say that they make good games. That may not have been true for quite some time, but they make interesting games. And that may not have been true for quite some time. What I'm trying to say is that there is a certain formula that you can follow to make money in video games. And it's just like these people just divert from that formula. And for the life of me, I can't understand why. And while at the same time, we have Korea creating a game like Stellar Blade and receives none of the awards but all the money. And at the end of the day, I am curious what matters more, winning an award for a game that doesn't sell or getting all the money for a game that does sell but gets no awards because it doesn't fit the gender politics of this. It makes no sense. The most recent one, obviously, is Dragon Age because that game's not selling anymore and people are losing their minds. They're like, oh, it's because of this or it's because of that. It's not, you cannot fake review your way into a popular selling game. Unlike, you can't even do it with a movie now because the Disney movies are not as profitable as they used to be because word of mouth gets around. You can control popular media to a certain extent, but you can't control YouTubers when they get their hands on the game and then they show you exactly why the game sucks. You can't fake bought review your way out of that. But yet and still, they are going to try. And here I am getting ready for my surgery, and I am thinking about all of this happy stuff that is going on with gender politics in gaming. Now, does that mean that you cannot have a highly gender political video game? No, I believe you can. But the market for that particular game is so small that in order to turn a profit, you're going to have to go indie for a long period of time. Now, I'm going to compare this to the WNBA. The WNBA has never been profitable since its inception, right? It's never made money. And here we are with the Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark thing, where now we are getting the Larry Bird and Magic Johnson of the WNBA, and it was supposed to be big. It was supposed to be blockbusters. What happened? Caitlin Clark gets filed to the nth degree, and Angel Reese does steroids and get kicked out of the NBA. So their golden goose, the WNBA, shat out themselves. I've never seen a league take their golden geese and just shit them out. That was completely interesting. And I bring up that to compare to Mass Effect and Dragon Age. After the Mass Effect trilogy, Mass Effect should have been instant money. Just pure instant money. You had a script that you could follow and it would print you money. Yet and still, you didn't. And you lost money. And now with Dragon Age, you lost money. And it takes years to create video games. And I'll admit, it is not easy to create a video game. There's a lot of moving parts inside of it, and it is damn hard. But what is not hard is following the script to make that game profitable on the way out. I am really trying my best to figure out why. Just why. What level of delusion do you need to is it purposely lose money? From G4 to Frostbitten to everything, from Kotaku laying off people. I need someone to point me to a highly gender political anything and show me that it is profitable, because these companies keep coming out and they keep going under. At this point, I believe companies won't even touch Sweet Baby Inc. They've just had a recent round of layoffs. I am not opposed to gender politics in this world. What I am opposed to is force feeding it and not giving it the chance to grow naturally and then just going bankrupt because of it. For the absolute longest time, gaming was thought of as a stigmatism. You know, you're a nerd, you're a geek, or you're a gamer, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. Then gaming naturally became mainstream. It wasn't forced down our throats, right? People hid in their own little corner and played their games happily. And then the main the main public found gaming, and that's when gaming became popular. Same for Star Wars, right? Star Wars was a niche, nerdy thing back in the day, and oh my God, you're a geek, you're a Star Wars nerd, blah, 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 blah. Suddenly, as if out of nowhere, Star Wars became popular on its own. They didn't have to force feed Star Wars to anyone. Things that are great will find their audience. It may take a decade, it may take 2 decades, 3 decades, 30 years. It may take that time. But it will do so organically, it will do so naturally. With this gender political stuff, they are ramming it down everyone's throat, and people are getting sick of it. And when you try to force something, you have to understand that that's going to cause what people call blowback. People are going to get angry because they're seeing it everywhere and it's not organic. And when people get angry that something is constantly in their face, well, expect them to fight back and try to push it away. And that's what I believe we're having in the games industry as a whole. People are fighting back against woke culture in their video games. It should have been able to come along naturally, but because people want to force it down everyone's throat, that opportunity did not get the chance to happen. And what we're seeing now is the pendulum swinging back the other way around. Anyway, you all take care, and I'm going to go find something else to do.